Hi class. In the last two speeches, we covered several aspects about the US ban on exporting oil. If you remember, on the first week, we talked about the historical background behind the US ban and why it was established. We now understand that the Cold War and its relation to national security forced the United States government to establish this ban. In week two, we covered that oil is not just one single homogeneous substance, that there's actually several types of it, and that our country requires a larger amount of one of them than the other ones. The one that we produce here in the United States, sometimes we do not need it that much, and it creates an internal surplus that we cannot sell in the market. So today, I want to discuss what the advantages might be, or will probably be, if we actually lift the ban on exporting oil. We basically have the two main topics that will demonstrate a big advantage to the United States economy and the political influence in the world. Number one, economically, we are selling this surplus of light oil inside the United States at a lower price. If you guys ever watched the world market of commodities, we have two types of measuring the price of oil. The first one is the Brent type of oil, and the other one is WTI, which is the one that we use in the United States. Or some of you guys don't know, but it stands for West Texas Intermediate. The difference between the two prices is going to be that the WTI will always be cheaper than Brent oil. And that's because we have to sell our oil a little bit cheaper than the rest of the world, since we cannot export it. So the surplus that stays here has to be sold here at a lower price. If we actually lift this ban, the operators in the United States will be able to sell this surplus at a regular price outside of the United States. What this will cost is that all this influx of money will actually be able to maintain the oil industry in the United States, create jobs, and then thus give more returns to the communities. I mean, we all have to understand, living in West Texas, we know that whenever the price of oil goes down, it affects everyone, not just the oil industry. I understand that some people actually do not like how some of the people that work in oil affect the community. But unfortunately, they do bring a lot of economic progress to wherever it is, whether it's Texas, North Dakota, the Gulf Coast. So lifting the ban and being able to sell this surplus of oil, of American oil, will actually increase the revenues, not only of the operators, but the communities where they work. The second one is national security. We remember the ban was established because of the risk that it could cause to national security. Well, we're not in the same situation anymore. The Soviet Union does not exist. There's no Cold War that we're fighting with any major superpower. This includes the Chinese. They might actually have a lot of economical power. They might be a threat, but unfortunately they are still not at a level of a superpower that can actually inflict some type of major risk to us. So the United States stands alone right now, and now it has a big advantage. Natural resources in the United States that we had thought that were gone, now are in abundant amounts, and we can actually produce them with all the technologies that have come about. So we can actually turn this into a positive national security advantage. If you think about it, Europe lacks a lot of natural resources, including oil and minerals. A lot of its oil and natural gas come from Russia, which historically has had not a very friendly relationship with either the European Union or us, particularly right now with Vladimir Putin. This guy changes his mind every 3 seconds. We all know that he's quite a fin for some aggressive action against his neighbor countries. Now the European Union has to buy all these products from Russia, so therefore they're dependent on the political situation and atmosphere there. If we actually started providing our European allies, they have been allies of ours since World War I and before, we could actually establish a larger sphere or more of a comfortable zone for these countries and for ourselves, since they would have to rely so much on energy resources coming from such an unstable country. If anything happens in the Middle East, I mean, the nations that are customers of ours will not have to deal with it. We all know that for like the last 40 years there has been turmoil all over the Middle East, whether it's in North Africa, um, the Israeli conflicts, anywhere in Iran or Iraq. These are basically two of the biggest advantages that could come out of the lifting the U.S. oil ban and being able to sell the American oil to foreign nations. Hopefully, this helped you guys in broadening your perspective about this. And maybe if you're a little bit about it, maybe you can start looking into it and researching a little bit more before we make a decision. Thank you.